In this quick video, I'm going to show you the right way to grow garlic and how to grow a lot in a small amount of space. This is Tim from Organic Backyard Gardening. The best time to start growing garlic is in the fall time. You don't want to start it too soon, but you want to get it in before the ground freezes in the cool weather areas. So plan on planting 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes. In New England, I like to plant my garlic as soon as the leaves start falling. The next step is selecting the right type to grow. You have an option of planting hardneck or softneck garlic. Hardneck is typically better in cooler weather climates. It needs to really be hit with a freeze in order to produce a larger bulb. You can see here I have some Russian red hardneck garlic, and you can see the hardneck going straight through the bulb. Softneck garlic, on the other hand, is better for milder climate from zones 5 to 10. These are typically the types that you find in the grocery store, and they store much longer than hardneck. Now you're going to be planting the cloves. You're going to be pulling the bulb apart and you're going to be planting each clove. You're not going to want to plant store-bought garlic. They may be treated with inhibitors. You want to buy from a reputable seed supplier. Seed garlic is pretty expensive, but you'll be happy to know that after you plant them the first year, you'll be able to save some to replant the next year. So after your initial investment, you'll continue to be growing garlic. This past year, I unfortunately didn't grow any garlic, so I didn't have any to plant, so I had to buy some. And I was amazed that my favorite shop, High Mowing Seed, was totally out of stock of everything. But I knew just the place to go. I hopped over to Etsy and I searched for organic garlic seed. And one of the first results that came up had a lot of great reviews. The farm was called Fast Hitch Farm, and they had Russian red garlic, which is what I was looking for. I ordered 1 pound for $33. The garlic came very fast and looked great. I like using Etsy to support small shops. The next step is preparing your growing space. Garlic will do well in full sun, but will also do okay in partial shade. Amend your growing space with organic compost. The bed that I'm going to be growing in had tomatoes this season, so I want to add more nutrients to the ground to make sure that the garlic has plenty of nutrients to grow large bulbs. This is a 4 by 4 foot square bed, and to keep things simple, I like to use the square foot growing method. I'm going to grow 4 garlic bulbs per square feet. I'm then going to draw my guidelines. I'm going to draw 16 square feet. I take a piece of wood and I press it into the ground to make grid lines. I'll end up with a total of 16 boxes. Now another option to set up your grid lines is making physical grid lines with string. You can do this by measuring each foot, putting a little mark, and then hammering a nail into the edge of the bed. You can then take the twine and map out your grid lines. If you don't have a raised bed, you can also do this in the ground with just string. Once you have your grid lines, I like to take the handle of a rake and make guide holes, 4 per square foot, about 2 inches deep. Now it's time for planting. You're going to want to break up your bulbs and take each clove and plant it with the fat side down. So that's the bottom side. Place each clove into the hole and make sure they're about like a thumb's length down, just so they're slightly under the soil. About 2 inches deep, and if you're in really cold climates, maybe 3 inches deep, just so the frost doesn't heave them up. Once they're all planted, cover them up. Next, you're going to want to mulch them with about 6 inches of mulch. I like to use hay or shredded leaves. This will keep them nice and cozy through the winter months. In the spring, when everything starts to get thawed out, pull the mulch back a little bit, but still leave enough mulch between the plants to suppress weeds. In the early summer, the garlic stalks are going to form scapes. These are the flowering bulbs at the top of the stalks. pull them out when they start to curl around once. You can then saute these or sell them in a market. A couple weeks after this, decrease watering, and when you start to see the stalks die and the bottom leaves start to die off, that's about when it's time to harvest the garlic. Harvesting too soon results in smaller cloves that don't store well, and leaving the bulbs in the ground too long could cause the cloves to burst out of their skins. And they won't store as long either, so timing is quite important. In this video here, a few years back, I probably could have waited a little longer to harvest these. However, they still did great. To harvest them, you can use like a little fork like I'm using here. Just pull up on the stalks and pull them right out of the ground. After harvesting, you're going to want to let them cure. With their stalks, without washing them, put them in a cool, dry area, maybe like inside of a shed. After they've cured for 3 or 4 weeks, you can then cut the stalks off and place them in like a mesh bag in your basement. Hardnecks will store for several months, and the softnecks will store for much longer. And you can save your largest bulbs for planting that fall. Feel free to check out the links down below in the description how you can support our channel. Ending a garden can be very time consuming. There's just so many resources out there, and for new gardeners it's hard to just get started. I've developed a new garden planning tool that can plan your garden in minutes. Check out the link in the description below on how to use this new tool. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.